Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. Prolific himself. Glad you guys tuned in today. I have guests in today, so let's sit back, open your ears, let's get your entrepreneurship ready. We got some important guys here today. I want to introduce you to Logan and Kelly of ProKel Writing. Gentlemen, how you guys are today?
Doing amazing, Mr. Prolific.
We're
Thank you for
doing
having
good,
us
Rick.
here.
We're doing
Oh,
good.
thank you for coming
having
on.
us.
I want to give a shout out to one of my homeboys that put this together. I thank him. I bless him for for having me in mind to do this interview. So I appreciate you, bro. Make sure you clip this up. It's for you. But let's get into this. Let's get into this today. The ride sharing space. A lot of us know about it. A lot of us, have it on our social media. A lot of us have it on our phones. A lot of us use it daily, whether it's transportation, getting from home to school, to wherever it may be. But today we gonna hound in on ride sharing. We're gonna come in on this space for this. So, Logan, tell me about RideKel.
Yeah, so RideKel is, and I know you said ride sharing space. So RideKel is the ride share for transit. So we
Okay,
really
ride share.
focus on public transportation, work with cities and municipalities to create a more connected transportation ecosystem. That could be your fixed route buses, so the buses you see going by, picking up people, the larger ones, the on-demand services that come off those buses, the first and last mile, and then even things like the paratransit services. So elderly folks, seniors trying to go to dialysis appointments, we do it all from an operational standpoint. What we do effectively is we bring all of those modes together in that ecosystem on one application. So you say, I'm starting from point A to point B. It's going to give you the most efficient, cost-effective solution within the RideKel application of how to get to your final destination using all available modes within a city or region. So no more just having to take an Uber or a Lyft or a bus. We bring it all in one fluid, seamless experience for the rider so they can get there reliably, safely, and then for the cities we work for, cost effectively in bringing all those modes together. One of a kind, doesn't exist today. We're bringing it to South Florida first, and we're going to be growing it all over the country.
Okay. This is new. This is something new. I can't wait to jump in on
Fresh
this.
off the press.
Yes, fresh off the press.
Fresh off the press.
So, question: what gave you this idea? Because I seen you. I did some study, did some research. I seen you work with Lyft. What made you give you this idea to put everything under one? Because I've never heard this before, especially in the city of Miami or even just in the state of Florida.
Well, I'll tell you what, like I started my career 10 years ago. I've been in transportation, logistics, and planning. I started with MV Transportation with this gentleman right here, the CEO of ProKel Mobility, Mr. Kelly Gonzalez Jr. That's where we met over a decade ago.
Okay.
And so I learned really and cut my teeth in the traditional modes of transportation, fixed route, commute, paratransit, dial-a-ride, all the things that traditionally cities would use to move people around, from point A to point B. So I learned that. Then I started to delve into all the mobility platforms. So how you would schedule and dispatch a ride from an app, how you would get a bike through an application or a scooter like a Spin or Bird as an example. And so I saw there was other modes out there, and this is right around the time when Lyft and Uber was really gaining popularity, say around like 2015, 2016.
Right.
So I saw the applications from a Lyft perspective and really providing cost-effective ways to do what you would call overflow. Now with the dedicated service in paratransit, you have a driver, you have a vehicle, right? And so there's a lot of cost in operating that.
Right.
Now with the growing senior population, you have more rides, so you have to extend that fleet out. That adds more cost onto a city. So I said, well, why couldn't you do non-dedicated or use Lyft rides or Uber rides to actually provide services? So you have an independent contractor, their own vehicle, 35% less the cost than a dedicated vehicle.
Right.
So I started to work in integrating those solutions in when I was at MV. Fast forward, I got hired by Lyft to come over and oversee their university vertical. Because at the time when I was at MV, I worked with all the universities and colleges to basically understand their pain points as it relates to students getting around on a campus.
True.
So once I started to learn kind of the ins and outs and the buy process there and the costs related to it, I said, well, shoot, they created this job for me. I know everything there is about a university campus ecosystem and transportation. Came over to Lyft, started out, they had about 35 universities and colleges. I was a IC, individual contributor, one person coming in. In the first year, I grew it from 35 to 102 universities
In a year.
in 1 year, taking it from 13.3 million grossing after 3 years and developing the team. So our partner managers, our program specialists, really taking it to the next level, boxing out Uber. Sorry, Uber, I'm gonna call it out, but boxing out Uber 10x to the market when their tech stack was superior to ours. And really, it was the relationship, understanding the pain points, and knowing that our cost was 35% less than a driver, a bus, or vehicle that really didn't get the performance that it needed in order to be high optimal productivity. And so now, okay, here's regular transportation, here's Lyft, integrated, we're providing a great solution, it's cost effective, and now people are really starting to take it for other uses than just getting in an Uber or Lyft and costing X amount to go out.
Right.
Now it has real application to public transportation and how people get around into a city. Fast forward again, I got recruited by a company called Circuit to go over and learn electric vehicles, first, last mile, on demand, really connecting other train using only EV vehicles.
Right.
So here I am now understanding the EV side of it. Really, what does it take to, procure a vehicle like that, and what type of geofence or, parameter does it work best in? How does it complement public transportation? Plus taking my knowledge of Lyft. So now I understand electric vehicle operations, I understand rideshare, understand traditional public transportation, and now with all that experience and exposure, I come and join this man over here to really build something beautiful. Blank canvas. I know the best technology solutions out there. I know operations. We have some of the best operators on our team, former CEOs of transit agencies coming over on the planning side. So best in practice operations, best technology, and now we're bringing it all together because we know what works, we know what doesn't work. And so, we've taken all of those years of knowledge to now apply it to cities so that they can benefit, and so the communities can really benefit from being able to take these services.
I don't know if I want to call you the cheat code or call you the answer because you solved the problem. But Kelly, what made you want to be a part of something like this? What gave you the idea that you felt like you would be a perfect fit in this space?
Mr. Rick is very simple. You heard his story. He started and went on a journey from companies to companies to companies. He shouldn't have to do all that. It should all be in one place. The issues with a lot of companies these days, they got to report to shareholders. They by any cost, right? They over leverage themselves. I started ProKell in 2020. When all the companies were going out of business, that was the perfect time to start a business, right?
Right.
That's what we learn in the Bible.
Right.
When havoc comes, God always brings opportunity, right?
Facts.
I bet this gentleman's been on my radar back when he used to run the university shuttle programs and university programs for the same company we work for. And I ran 32 states on the other side. And I started as a driver making minimum wage October 13, 2008. We both grew in this company in the 8 years that first company was with. The company grew from 500 million to 1.3 billion in just 8 years. But we didn't own the company. We didn't have any shares in that. So what I did was started my own company and hired the best of the best. This gentleman right here, he's the cheat code and also the G code. Okay? Let's keep it 100. He's the best of the best. And I saw the work he was doing. I said, you know what? You're not going to make $1 million working for those companies. You're not going to make millions. I'm straight up. You come work with us, you're going to make those millions. In his short time with us, it's probably been, 6 months? We've already got 3 contracts here in South Florida doing everything he just spoke about. And it's only been 90 days. I got Wall Street calling me. I got all the banks calling me. And we have no obligations to any banks. We have no obligations to any investors or nothing like that. This is organically grown. This is for everybody out there in the public that works for a company but has an idea, but don't step out and do it.
Right.
And you just drown there. Who cares if they pay you $250,000 or $300,000 a year? That's not life changing. That's almost like a slavery entanglement. You are chained to a company because you're chained to your salary. What we do in our company is we have great incentive programs. We got great programs for everyone to make bonuses. You work hard, and if you make sure the companies eat, you're going to eat too. I always have that G code. If I eat, you eat.
You eat.
It's very simple. I'm no different than the general manager for the Yankees. I'm no different than the general manager for the Dodgers. I'm no different than the owner for the Chiefs. It's my job to get the Patrick Mahomes of transportation on my team. The same way that Colorado did with Deion Sanders. They might have not had the money, but him there after a year,
They got
it valued.
right.
It tripled, quadrupled. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And we have a good learning culture. We pay the employees at the bottom of the pole higher living wage than in the cities. When the cities pass a minimum living wage ordinance, if you live in that city, I match that or higher. I don't want my people to be working at ProKell and look for other jobs. There's people that they go to the job and they start looking for other jobs at their job.
They're not locked in, not
They're
focused.
not locked in.
Right.
Also culture. It's all about culture.
Yes.
Go to ProKell at go to Instagram at ProKell. If you see it, you know it's executive produced by Mike G.
Hey.
Mike G. Okay? You know that we have people like Mike G that a person that curated a lot of content, connections, football deals, NIL deals, dealt with the superstars. It's the one that consults for our company on all the visuals that we do, on this podcast that was connected, right?
Right.
These other companies, that we had Mike G was the one that curated. We had Ric Flair. Ric Flair, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. There was a transportation conference in St. Petersburg. And you know where all the companies have their little tables?
Yeah.
When Ric Flair walked in that door, everybody else just started packing up their stuff. There wasn't enough time for people to take pictures and signatures. That's thinking outside the box. That's getting the best of the best from all places. Our visuals done by Lavish, K Photos. These are guys that do work for Little Baby. When you see a video of our company, that's a producer for Little Baby doing it. The same way we connected with you. You're outside the box, up and coming, established podcast. I don't want the boring businesses podcast. We're called the FUBU of transportation. I'm from Miami. I'm from Miami-Dade County, Alapata, Liberty City, Waynewood, Overtown. Stand up. I'm the American dream. I'm the American dream. What they rap about, that's me, but in corporate America. And I'm hiring the best of the best. We got Logan McLeod, former head of strategy for Lyft. Eduardo Carrion, former CEO for Corpus Christi Transit as our COO. Frank T. Martin, strategic advisor, which was the first black director of rail for the Metro Rail in 1987 for Miami-Dade Transit. That's the type of talent we have behind the scenes. Logan got the mouthpiece. I got the mouthpiece and the looks. You feel me? So
I
that's
can't grow a beard.
He got you on that one.
We got the swag, but we also produce good work. Every city we go to, we reduce their cost. Like one of the cities that we just started doing this micro transit work / fixed route bus. One of the things that when he says fixed bus, those are your, right here in Palm Beach, your Palm Tran buses.
Yeah.
In Broward County, they're the Broward County big buses. And Miami-Dade, what our application does, it gets the feeds of the routes. So when you ordering one of our electric vehicles, you can see how far it could take you and how you could plan your journey. Just like Google, and see those feeds of those buses. We're connecting the communities together. And we provide the buses, and we provide the vehicles, and we provide the technology. We provide everything all in one. Companies would have to go everywhere. We're gonna come all in one spot. We're like the Amazon of transportation. You could come get your packages. You could come get your medicine. You could come get it all.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Hey, shout out to Mike G, man. He put this together. Also, I want to give him a shout out because when I first started investing, he put me with a good person, a good friend of mine is Rashad off of EYL. And that was the first time me and Mike G was like, I feel like, yo, this would be the perfect thing for you because I see where you're going. And to see a brother see something like that in somebody else and push it forward, man, sky the limits, man. I'm heavy in the market now. I'm heavy in investing. Yeah. So like I said, hey, guys, let's give a shout out to Mike G because Mike G, man, he's Mr. All-Purpose. He Mr. Do It All. He ain't sitting down not one time. Every time I look on Instagram, it's another damn post. Another post every 5 minutes is another post, but it's a beautiful post.
Yes, sir.
But hey, shout out to you. So, question: what made you guys want to start this in North Miami Beach and not like Aventura, the Grove, any other place like that?
Well, I could tackle that one. The reason we started in Miami Beach, North Miami Beach, was because North Miami Beach has a great vision. They have a great mayor, Michael Joseph. Great mayor, with a big visionary, and they got a great commission. All the commissioners are great, and they got a great city staff. These are cities that might not have the budget to the market for tourism.
Right.
But it's just good people, a good community. I love the people in Ulita. I love the people in Eastern Shores. I love the people all over there. And they also, if you ever go and they do a lot of community events, you see the people there are very involved. We don't just want to grow the company to, we want to make billions and millions of dollars. No. Right. Obviously, where you plant good seed, good fruit comes. That's just the nature of law. That's right. God's law. We like to go where we can have strategic partnerships. And that city is positioned in the middle where you could, from North Miami Beach, go to the Golden Glades park and ride. That's where the Bright Line goes through.
All that, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And all the buses stop there. Not the Bright Line, the Tri-Rail. That's where the Tri-Rail.
Okay.
The Tri-Rail goes through there. Now, if you go a little bit up and you go to the Aventura Hub, that's where the Bright Line goes through. So you got one city that has great transportation because we do the North Miami Beach trolleys. If you ever see the trolleys, that's us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we mix it in with the electric vehicles, the Kia EV9s, right?
Right.
So, and then we connect with Golden Glades where you could catch the Tri-Rail and go up, all the way to West Palm Beach. And you could go connect with Aventura, get anywhere else as well, and go all the way to Orlando. And guess what we also do? We have a contract with the Tri-Rail where we do all the 3 terminals in the Fort Lauderdale airport, connecting anybody from the airport, and they get on there for free.
Right.
Going to the Tri-Rail stops. And all 72-mile corridor from downtown, from Miami Airport, going all the way to Mangonia stop in West Palm Beach. That's 72 miles. If there's if there's a cart that need fixing or they got repairs, we do something called emergency bus bridge. Within an hour, we contracted to have a bus there. That's an ideal for us. And what we also do, right, that's not too far from our home office in North Miami Beach, we do all the games for park and ride for the Miami Dolphins. Anytime there's a Miami Dolphins game and you see them trolleys out there,
yeah,
picking people up from where the handicap parking is to the front of the stadium, that's us. All the University of Miami games, that's us. Formula One, Miami Open.
Oh, y'all plugged.
So we plugged in.
Plugged in.
But don't forget, this is the key. We're not the smartest people in the world. We definitely are the hardest working, but we took the risk. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. We used to work for a company, and we did all of that. That company make billions of dollars, and I love that company. Shout out to MV, right? I have 2 contracts with them. that I do to this day as partners, and one in Jacksonville and one in Palm Beach County, right? But do that for yourself, right? How can you grow yourself? All of our executive team, they all have packages where they grow work, they get a piece of that work. That's going to incentivize them to grow more rather than just collect a paycheck and wait for a 3% raise every year.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but for everybody out there, if you have a dream or if you have a vision, step out, because that's what freedom is. I believe that a lot of people get sick physically because they're not walking in what God ordained them to be, and they might not know it subconsciously. They're trapped. They're trapped in their own life, and they're not free because they're not doing what God called them to be. God, especially us, God called us to create. What are you creating? Even if you support, you got to create something, and I think he brought all these great ideas, and I listen because I'm what I know I'm good at. I know I'm not the smartest person in the room, but it's my job to get the best talent like this, the best talent like Mike G. Connect with the best podcasts like you, Mr. Rick.
Yeah.
That's my job, right? Just same thing when we have kids. Put our kids in the best situation,
Right.
in the same position to win, and not be tied down by the way old people do stuff or the way it used to be. And we doing everything outside the box. Because one day, it was before Lyft or Uber was new. And people said that wasn't going to work out. And look at them now.
I remember I was in Silicon Valley, so when a lot of this stuff was coming out, I was just like, a lot of the stuff told a lot of people, what you see now, I've already saw. I was in the place where I seen ideas were just sparking up, and I'm like, yeah, it wasn't gonna work. And I had an internship with Steve Jobs at Apple. So when he sat me inside the place where they had meetings, and I was just like, there's no way a phone gonna take over. I was like, we done seen no Kias, we done seen all these phones. He said, no, my ISO system will take over. He said, it will be no way you'll run a system without my phone. And even without him not, everybody got an iPhone.
Everybody.
And you'll look at your phone crazy if you see green pop up on your phone.
Oh, man.
I don't understand that, but I said mentally he did something to make sure that he will always be in your hand, in some type of service, in some type of system. He will always be there. So question, for both of you guys, what made you guys not walk away, but what made you guys say, yo, screw it, I'm going to walk out on faith and I'm going to go and do this, and it's going to be successful?
I can jump in here with Kelly, and I know he's been speaking everybody's accolades here, but it's really this man. Like, again, I've known him for over a decade, and there's one thing about him is that he's loyal, and what he says comes true, right? If he says he's going to do something for you, if he's going to make a promise to you, it comes true.
Man of action.
Man of action, man of his word,
Right.
right? And you don't find that a lot today. So I know if I'm going to step out with him and I'm going to create something meaningful, not only is it going to make impact in my life, but it's going to make impact in everybody else's life that we are able to touch through this transportation. And that, at the end of the day, is what we're about, is that community benefit and the ability to help people get around, again, reliably, safely, cost-effectively, people to get to medicine, people to get to groceries, people to get to the job who don't have access to a vehicle, right? It's the impact around the business that we're creating. And so I know if I go with him, and I know if this is the vision and this is what we're marching towards, it's what's going to happen. And so I have to shout out to this man for his leadership abilities, his skills, and again, putting the right people in the room, but also having that vision that people want to follow, and you know that's going to make an impact in millions of people's lives.
Tell me the moment of the birth. Like, what was you doing? Where were you at when the idea came up? This is what we need to do. This is the problem solver, or this is what's going to grow this space or create a new space. Because, like I said, I've never heard this before. You guys are just all purpose.
Well, if you look at transportation today, with all the companies that are doing, the one that I used to work for, Circuit, there's another one out there, Freebie, they do electric, on-demand, transportation. That's their focus point, right? There's other operators out there like MV, Transdev. They also do traditional operations. Then you have your Lyft and Uber. You have Waymo coming in now, right? Autonomous vehicles. So a lot of companies are fixated on one type of mode or one type of solution. The problem with that, with transportation, again, these are all great things. If it's not interconnected in the sense of where modes make the most sense, where things can connect that's most cost effective, that allows people to get places efficiently, it pools rides together for multiple people to make the productivity of the vehicle. If it's not all interconnected, then it's disjointed, it's mismanaged, it doesn't really make the impact that people are looking for. So what we're saying is we know enough about all these different modes of transportation and where they belong and how best to organize and design them, put them all together, right? Then you're creating some impactful mobility. You're getting people out of their cars.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to go download 4 apps and try to figure out which app I'm going to be using in this area and that. No, you're going to be confused. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to get in your car and you'd rather sit in traffic for an hour and a half. Right? What we're saying is get on our application. We're going to connect all the modes, even if we're not operating it, right? There's a lot of modes right now. Miami-Dade Transit, Tri-Rail. We're not operating the trains. We're not operating the buses for Miami-Dade Transit, but we know it's the best solution for the people to integrate into and connect to the services that we are operating. So with every city that takes on us as an operator or a partner, we're going to provide that integration for all available modes within the city. And so now people are able to effectively get from point A to point B within city limits, but now within the region. You can get anywhere in Broward. Hell, you can get from Broward to Palm Beach if you want to, without having to pay an extra cost
to get
in there. And again, that's our desire, is to be able to manage as much operations as we can, providing the drivers, the vehicles, the maintenance, servicing that city or that county, but also bringing the other modes that we're not operating so people can utilize the services more effectively, interconnect in the region, and want to take public transportation, right?
Yeah.
If I tell you today you can go open up this app and take any public transportation you want within those 3 regions, you're going to go download that. If I told you have to go download 4 applications, and once you get 5 miles out of here, you got to go switch to that one. Next time you're like, I get that. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to drive public transportation, whatever. It's for, only the people that absolutely need it. But it should be for everybody, right? You go up to the Northeast, an example, you go to New York, everybody takes public transportation.
Right.
It should exist that way down here as well. So again, why we chose North Miami Beach, why we're so invested in Florida, there's so much opportunity, right? We're at the precipice of something really great here. And there's a ton of pain points people are dealing with now, right? 95 is a disaster. Let's be honest, right? I-4, forget about it, all right? So why can't we get people spending less time in their cars and more time, going out and starting the next innovative idea or going to their jobs, being productive there, versus sitting in their cars half of their lives because that's the only effective mode of transportation that they have available to them. Let's flip the script. Let's change that. And then I think that's through what we're designing here. Again, connecting all those modes through one application and being able to manage as much of these cities as possible, because at the end of the day, it doesn't stop with transportation with us. We're partnering with the cities themselves. We're making impact in the communities. We're creating internships. We're helping some of the nonprofits locally, food banks. Like, that's what's meaningful to us, is we're not a vendor. We're a partner. That's the difference. We're partnering with that city to not only create better mobility and access, but also to create better access and mobility for those that are living in it, whether that means like being exposed to transit services, right, in the industry, and be able to show them there's a path there for professional growth opportunities, right? So again, we're not thinking just within our industry, we're thinking even beyond that. How can we be an impactful solution to the entire community that we serve?
Yeah. So when you guys were coming out with all these modes, what made you say, I'm just not going to just do this. I'm going to actually connect all of them, transit, everything together. At no given point, you didn't feel like it was too much, or you just knew you knew how to solve that problem. You knew how to connect all of them at once.
I knew some people, Ricky. So
Oh,
that was
yeah.
that,
You got to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody.
I've been in the business long enough to know what the best applications are out there, the best developers in the industry, right? And how all these pieces connect in order to say, finally, we got that white canvas. We can, draw this mosaic, right? This masterpiece, this Michelangelo, because essentially I have a partner here who believes at the end of the day, what we're marching towards is ultimately going to be the most effective way in doing it. It's not someone saying, I built this app 10 years ago, we're only using this app, right? Or we're doing it this way because I've invested so much. No, we are saying, what is the very best thing? And we don't have to be the creators necessarily.
We don't.
We're going to go out there and find the best partners to bring the best solutions to art. And if there's something else that a partner wants to use and it's good for, what we're doing for the community, we're going to help build that in too. So we're always open to getting feedback and further developing the solution. We're not stagnated in the sense of only being focused on what we can create, what we can do, or the mode that we want because investors have invested into that particular thing. We're not beholden to anybody.
Right.
That's the beauty, baby. So we have that flexibility to move and still develop. We're so far ahead with what we've already developed, but there's so much there to go. And again, we don't have any strings attached to how we do one thing or the other. That's the beauty of being able to have that flexibility and be able to, manage things accordingly to the very best ability to not only ourselves, right? The company we're creating, but to our partners, to the cities that we are essentially providing these services to.
When you guys was going to each city and bringing this to them, how did it feel when you knew the trust that they trusted you guys? Like they said, we know it's going to work. We're going to bring this in our city. We're going to let them run it. Compared to a Uber or Lyft that has a big, well-known name, what made those cities trust you guys to be like, all right, cool, let's take a spin at it?
Proof of concept.
You know what? They see real people. I never go to any city and say, I'm going to be the cheapest provider. Never. I'm going to say I'm going to be the best effective provider for your city. Your residents, grand and them, they going to be safe in our buses. They ain't going to fall. Somebody ain't going to smoke a cigarette and be on the phone as they walking out by themselves.
Right.
That ain't happening. Because we hire the best drivers, the best people, top-notch pay. And we treat good people good. They all family. Everybody in the company got my cell phone. And they don't even call me because I got good people on the ground that take care of them. I've been in this industry for a long time. And I've managed, here in South Florida, Broward County TOPS program. I had 230 employees. I had everybody's grands in my buses. And most of the people that used to work for that big firm I worked for, they work for me now. Because I remember John was, he didn't get the big pay. He didn't get the promotion because he got a big accent when he talked. And people might have looked over him. You know what? He's a general manager for us, making hell over 6 figures.
Okay.
He was my top shotter that went over to Phoenix when we opened up in Phoenix. We didn't start the traditional way. We operate in Columbus, Ohio, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Lansing, Michigan, Allenstown, Pennsylvania, Kannapolis, North Carolina, Nassau County, New York. We're in Marta, Atlanta. We spread out. We went everywhere, wherever they was going to give us the opportunity, right? And we proved ourselves we could work as west as Phoenix, as north as New York and Pennsylvania, as south as Miami. We could do it all. We went with opportunity, and we built a good name for ourselves. We built a good reputation. And most importantly, we buy most of our oil, a lot of our maintenance from small companies. Even though I could probably go to Goodyear and get a cheaper price, I'm not going to go to Goodyear. I'm going to go to JC Tires, my tire vendor, and he brings me the tires. I might pay a little bit more, but I got somebody uncle a job.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
that's what you can.
that, LG maintenance, right? One of the best. Lazaro Garcia is one of the best mechanics in South Florida. Don't nothing. He knows everything about each bus, each trolley. He got over 9 cities in Broward and Miami doing contracts. You know what? I was one of his first vendors. I was one of the first people to have him full-time, and he wanted to work full-time for me. I said, no, you're not. You're going to open up your own company. You're going to get your own LLC. but you're gonna do all my maintenance. And he has an office. He opened up a maintenance shop right next to my office, and now he's a self-made millionaire. I'm in just like Rashad and those guys. I'm in my legacy is to make other people millionaires, is to go into communities, invest in the communities. All of my offices is in communities that need uplifting. When I go to communities to do my transit, even if they want to just give me these 2 communities or these 2 routes, I'll still advise, I think you should do one through here where there's underserved communities.
Right.
Because I grew up in an underserved community. And every location we have internship programs where we work with community college. We do youth symposiums with high schools. We did a youth symposium with the COMTO, Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, out of Miami-Dade. We took kids from Miami-Jackson. We took kids from Northwestern. We took kids from other schools around there, and we took in a Miami-Dade Transit in one of my trolleys. And some of the kids, their parents took them. There was about 50 to 60 kids, and one day they got to meet the CEO of the agency. They saw all the trains. They saw the buses. They saw they could have a job in the legal department, in the accounting department, in the finance department, and the planning department, and work for the county that they're in. Some people might not want to go to school or go to college. They might want to go right into the labor force. When I went to Miami-Jackson, there was automotive maintenance technicians. Now you can't find a technician. You can't find a plumber. These are jobs. We're job creators. Just like you got the gentleman, doing the lights and doing all the production back here. He didn't need to go get a bachelor's degree for that.
Right.
So that's what we're about. And every location we're in, I think one of the reasons cities like us is because we offer a community benefits action plan where we say, okay, we're going to come work here, but we also going to have an action plan in your community, and we'll work with local decision makers, commissioners, city planning. What are sectors in the community that you would like us to work with and bring up, whether it's internship programs, whether it's Thanksgiving luncheon giveaway, whether it's the senior centers. How can we also help? Because we're not here just to take from the cities. We're here to give back, obviously provide a great service.
Right.
And I think that is the difference they see in us. And I always, listen, he probably had that in his mind. I had that in my mind for years. But again, to everybody out there, when you got good ideas and you work at a firm or you work somewhere, it's not that they don't respect what you say or that they don't, honor your idea. That idea might just be for you, where you got to go execute it yourself. And now look, every 4 months we start a new city because we hot right now, but it wasn't always like that.
Right.
It was a lot of dry months. But I'm not when God works on you, he's not a God of emotions. I used to play baseball, and I come up from the place, you hit a home run, you put your head down, you run about the bases. You strike out, you put your head down, you go back and you're ready for the next at bat. It's called the happy medium.
Right.
You don't get too high and you don't get too low.
So question for the entrepreneurs, because I know this is one. How many no's did you guys get before you got that first yes to all right, let's go?
Man, there's probably enough no's that ran me out of a couple of jobs because I was just relentless of trying to get things done because I would see the value of something, I want to push something. But to Kelly's point, when you're in big organizations, it's to stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Hey, that's good, but that'll be next time. Or who signed off on this? Was it the VP, the SVP, this or that?
That's bull crap. That's why we growing, bro. We don't got none of that.
No. So
there's no limitation on you guys.
No.
Somebody bring the idea. Ideas are always welcome. I want the hungriest one. If you want two Super Bowls and somebody outplaying you, you're not playing the next game. That's how we run it here. This is America. Laissez-faire. The American dream with a vengeance. Come ready. I want the dogs. Our company full of dogs. Mm-hmm. When I walk in our company meetings, I feel goosebumps. I know this is my 300. When we walk in a conference and we walk in a pre-bid, I see the fears in their eye. I see the fear. I like boxing, but I can't fight. But I can fight in this corporate game.
Hey, that's
it's done but paper, pen, and emails.
Right.
And I can hire the best lawyers in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it's about. You know, and we established that company culture. And the reason he said that, I remember him, and he used to have all these big ideas. And the people that he reported to, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I'm in 2010 writing notes. All right. 2011, oh, that's what he gonna do. 2013, oh yeah. And a lot of the people that tell me no, my no's are different. My no's come from partnerships. There's business. I'm not gonna name it, but there's sectors of business. This electric vehicle stuff, I wasn't supposed to do that. There was a company, and I'm not naming it. Don't name them, please. There was a company that I reached out to just do the electric stuff under me. I didn't even want to do it because I was too busy doing the other stuff.
Right.
And they didn't pick up my phone call. They just, when we was ready to sign a contract, they stopped picking up their phone call. So I didn't have a partner. And I was like, damn, imagine my daughter one day gets promised a job and then they don't pick up her phone call or they don't honor her contract. How many times many of us have had jobs and we hit the bonus and there's fourth quarter, we didn't hit our company target. Nobody's getting a bonus. And now you can't use that money to send mommy back to the Dominican Republic. You feel me?
Right.
That's what's like, nah, man. When you say no to me, and guess what? You know what he did to that one company? They almost out of business because I hired the best of the best right here. And when I hired him, I said, you ever seen what's his name, Yoel, the fighter? When he said, go.
Yeah.
I said, go, whatever you want, I'm going to back you up. Any funding you need, Logan, this is your opportunity to make something great. Because I had that opportunity in other companies that I've worked for, and they say, whatever you say, go. There's nothing more liberating to tell somebody, go and be the best you. We behind you 100%. That's like having your best quarterback that you just drafted in the first round. What you need, O-line, boom, you got that. You need a running back, boom, you got that. You know what I'm saying? You need that private jet in your contract too. You think you're gonna get them? You think you're gonna get there quicker? You got that too. We might deduct the fuel from your bonus check. Now I'm just playing. but we got you.
I knew there was a catch.
You got you. But all my people know I'm not gonna ask you to do something I wouldn't do, and I believe in you. You know, and that's what differentiates ourselves. And I remember that one person didn't pick up, and I saw that person one day. We was at a what's that called when everybody's talking at the
Fireside chat.
Yeah, like a fireside chat. And they had all the bosses in the companies, and I knew he was gonna be there. And I said, "Oh, buddy, gonna be there? I finna wear my most brightest orange suit. I'm gonna get the best Rick Ross Beijing up in his head. I'm gonna shine that head real good. I got a brand new blade. I finna put on my best Dubai cologne. They ain't gonna be able to breathe in that green room." And when I got in, I said, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" It's like he saw a ghost. I said, "What happened?" And we were supposed to work on social. Oh, I said, "And you didn't pick up my phone call? You couldn't call me back?" I said, "I won't forget that." And guess what? We was awarded a contract. We took a contract for him, and I said, I told you I wasn't going to forget. And it's not about me. It's not personal. But there's other little Kelly Gonzalez's juniors out there. That companies like you interview them just to check the box, even though you already know who you're going to give a job to. Because we all been through that. I've been through it.
Right.
Interview for a job, and I already know who they're going to hire. And you wasted my time. But it's okay. I'm going to practice. I'm going to just use it. Because you know what? I'm being refined. God is, it's like a knife. He's just sharpening me up.
That's it.
And you know what? Like I told Logan one day, and I told a friend of mine, God didn't want that man, his company, to do that for me. Because if not, I would have never opened up.
They had other plans, baby.
Yeah, other
It's
plans.
personal, but the lesson going to be taught.
And the lesson was good right there. The lesson was perfect to do that. Because one thing I learned in just in business, a lot of those no's created some successful businesses.
Yes.
So to see you guys, oh, you gonna tell me no? Say less. Just keep the same energy when you see me come back around. So when you had the Rick Ross ball,
Yes,
all that
yes,
stuff,
yes.
that was the energy. So that's why when you see people again, it makes them so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's only business. I understand.
Yeah.
So don't take it wrong, anything like that. So could you guys tell the fans where they can find you guys at, how to download you, how to get in communication with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go on Apple, Android, RideKel, can't miss.
RideKel.
RideKel.
RideKel. RideKel. Go on Apple or Google and download the app. You can follow us on Instagram at ProKel Mobility. That's the name of the mother company. ProKel Mobility. You could definitely find your boy, Kelly Gonzalez Jr. on Instagram, curated
Can't miss him.
by Mike G Music. Credits to K Photos, Lavish, and the whole crew. Logan, we need to get your Instagram.
Yeah, I was about to say
But
that.
you can find
I know
Logan
you got
McLeod.
Instagram.
Logan McLeod on LinkedIn, boy.
Oh, I see that.
Logan,
I seen that.
Logan McLeod on LinkedIn. Go up on the LinkedIn right now.
Best, man. Learn it from the best.
LinkedIn.
Hey, I will say this. If you can't find us in your city, go talk to your mayor, go talk to your commissioner, and ask them why we are not in your city. And we'll be there soon.
I like that.
Hey, man, go to your town hall meeting, your city meeting, sit down. You heard it here first. Get it in your community. It's going to help us, especially with our elderly, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, those people. They need a way to get around and be in that, and they're part of the community. They're not just a service. They're in our community. They're a part of our community. They're a way of our community. So let's make sure we use it. Let's make sure we support it. Let's make sure we download it today.
Yes.
And make sure we follow on Instagram. But I thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm thankful to being blessed by these guys coming in here, dropping knowledge and letting us know what the future brings, and it's bright for us. And shout out again to Mike G for putting this together. He's always
Mike
do,
G.
Mr. All-Purpose, Mr. Everything, Mr. I'm gonna post about 3,000 times and everybody gonna like it.
Yes.
But I thank you guys today, man. Bless you. Thank you. Have a great week.
Bless you, man.
Bless you.
Hey, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you guys.